Hi, I'm Eileen Myles, and I'm glad to be here to celebrate the Poetry Society of America's 110th anniversary. I'm going to read Hart Crane's The Marriage of Faustus and Helen. It was published in 1926. Um, I want to read this poem because it celebrates love and a kind of love that might make the lover feel untwisted. Or perhaps it's a kind of love that the lover might feel twisted alive. But Crane knew about that, and I think this feeling is shared by many who read this poem. It's a queer poem, and to the queer in you, whatever that might mean. For the marriage of Faustus and Helen. The mind has shown itself at times too much the baked and labeled dough, divided by accepted multitudes. Across the stacked partitions of the day, across the memoranda, baseball scores, the stenographic smiles and stock quotations, smutty wings flash out equivocations. The mind is brushed by sparrow wings, numbers, rebuffed by asphalt, crowd the margins of the day, accent the curbs, conveying divers dawn on every corner to druggist, barber, and tobaccoist, until the graduate opacities of evening take them away as suddenly to somewhere virginal, perhaps, less fragmentary, cool. There is the world dimensional for those untwisted by the love of things irreconcilable. And yet suppose some evening I forgot the fare and transfer, yet got by that way without recall, lost yet poised in traffic, then I might find your eyes across an aisle, still flickering with those prefigurations, prodigal yet uncontested now, half riant before the jerky window frame. There is some way, I think, to touch those hands of yours that count the nights, stippled with pink and green advertisements, and now before its arteries turn dark, I would have you meet this bartered blood. Imminent in his dream, none better knows the white wafer cheek of love, or offers words lightly as moonlight on the eaves meets snow. Reflective conversion of all things at your deep blush when ecstasies thread the limbs and belly, when rainbows spread impinging on the throat and sides, inevitable the body of the world weeps an inventive dust for the hiatus that winks above it, blew it in your breasts. The earth may guide diaphanous to death, but if I lift my arms, it is to bend to you who turned away once, Helen, knowing the press of troubled hands too alternate with steel and soil to hold you endlessly. I meet you, therefore, in that eventual flame you found in final chains, no captive then, beyond their million brittle, bloodshot eyes. White, through white cities passed on to assume that world which comes to each of us alone. Except a lone eye riveted to your plane, bent axle of devotion along companion ways that beat, continuous to hourless days, one inconspicuous glowing orb of praise. 2. Brazen hypnotics glitter here. Glee shifts from foot to foot, magnetic to their tremolo, this crashing opera bouffe. Blessed excursion, this ricochet from roof to roof. No Olympians, we are breathless while black cupids scour the stars. 1,000 light shrugs balance us through snarling hails of melody. White shadows slip across the floor, splayed like cards from a loose hand. Rhythmic ellipses lead into canters until somewhere a rooster banters. Greet naively yet intrepidly new soothings, new amazements that cornets introduce at every turn, and you may fall downstairs with me with perfect grace and equanimity, or plaintively scud past shores where by strange harmonic laws all relatives, serene and cool, sit rocked in patent armchairs. Oh, I have known metallic paradises where cuckoos clucked to finches above the deft catastrophes of drums, while titters hailed the groans of death. Beneath gyrating awnings I have seen the incunabula of the divine grotesque. This music has a reassuring way. The siren of the springs of guilty song, let us take her on the incandescent wax striated with nuances, nervosities that we are heir to. She is still so young. We cannot frown upon her as she smiles, dipping here in this cultivated storm among slim skaters of the garden skies. 3. Capped arbiter of beauty in the street that narrows darkly into motor dawn, you here beside me, delicate ambassador of intricate slain numbers that arise in whispers naked of steel. Religious gunman, who faithfully yourself will fall too soon, and in other ways than as the wind settles on the 16 thrifty bridges of the city, let us unbind our throats of fear and pity. We even who drove speediest destruction and carambulous formations of mechanics, who hurried the hill breezes spouting malice, plangent over meadows, and looked down on rifts of torn and empty houses like old women with teeth unjubilant that waited faintly, briefly, and in vain. We know, eternal gunman, our flesh remembers the tensile boughs, the nimble blue plateaus, the mounted, yielding cities of the air. That saddle sky that shook down vertical, repeated play of air. No hypogeum of wave or rock was good against 1 hour. We did not ask for that, but have survived, and will persist to speak again before all stubble streets that have not curved to memory or known the ominous lifted arm that lowers down the arc of Helen's brow to saturate with blessing and dismay. A goose, tobacco, and cologne, 3 winged and gold-shod prophecies of heaven, the lavish heart shall always have to leaven and spread with bells and voices and atone the abating shadows of our conscript dust. Anchises' navel dripping of the sea, the hands Erasmus dipped in gleaming tides, gathered the voltage of blown blood and vine. Delve upward for the new and scattered wine. O brother thief of time that we recall, laugh out the meager penance of their days, who dare not share with us the breath released, the substance drilled and spent beyond repair for golden or the shadow of gold hair. Distinctly praise the years, whose volatile, blamed, bleeding hands extend and thresh the height. The imagination spans beyond despair, outpacing bargain, vocable, and prayer. Thank you.